Alright, I'm actually going to do this one a little bit different, where I start in the mech lab. But for long range and any sort of trade maps, you're really going to want high mounts. So you see the Battle Master, you've got the 5 ER larges up top. Really focusing on low exposure times. Same thing with the Stalker, very, very high mounts. And anything the clan uses to fight them really needs that benefit. Can't see it here, you have to go camo spec, I think. But you're minimizing your exposure time as best you can with a lot of these. It matters a lot more in terms of doing this versus DACA. Even like a side peek here, you can get the gun arm out, fall back. Doesn't work for top peeking. Warhawk's really bad at that, but... And I mean... The name of this game is minimize your exposure time, fire everything, get back to cover, win the trade, because there's no way anybody can push you. So I'll be getting into a lobby here with Inco here in a moment. Do some testing on Polar. And where is he at? Why am I blind? He's got a 3. Get out of your group so I can invite you to the lobby. So, we've seen a lot of JGX guys with the PPC and violators. Alright, send you a lobby invite. Can you bring a Virago? Can you bring a Virago, please?
Yep.
Cool. Ready up. You're being recorded, by the way. Just Charles has been asking me to record these for all of our guys.
What is that? What are you doing?
Teaching people how to snipe an ER large trade. What mech are you in? Inco, what mech are you in?
You said Virago.
Yes. Okay, just making sure. So we're gonna meet
sensors online.
Somewhere in the middle, and then we'll sort everything out there. So stand on top of a hill so I know where you're at, and we'll get in positions. So a couple of the biggest things are going to be your range bracket is only ever truly about 12 to 1300 yards. Beyond that, if you have nothing else to shoot at, it's fine. But like if you're conga lining, taking the gates on Boreal Vault, you're usually far enough away. I'd like to meet Hotel 8 to Juliet 9. Just a nice big wide gap. So, the IS PPCs are really bad. They can be effective, but anything can be effective if you're a really good pilot. It's kind of like the difference between clan SRMs and IS ones. Like, they look more or less the same on paper, but you really prefer to have the IS SRMs, and you'd really prefer to have the clan PPCs for the extra splash damage, and for the smaller double heat sinks are a big factor in that. So, Inco, we're doing some low exposure tests, and I kind of want to show that off first.
Need to move a bit forward. Julian 9, Hotel 8 have no direct shooting.
I see.
And I shoot you.
Just a little love tap. So, the reason you want all these high mounts is minimum exposure time. So, you can see just how most of my weapons are mounted at cockpit level.
I'm
All right.
up.
The biggest thing is
No shooting first.
I just want to kind of give people a sense of like the ranges. So that's how small of a target you've got, and that's you're gonna have no signature on almost everyone you face. But you can see how I can't actually hit him because of the invisible wall. Getting higher up. So you really try and give yourself some space, but it is what it is. Alright, shoot back and go. Just chain fire. It'll be easier. Pop up, shoot back. And go.
Yes.
Pop up and shoot back, please. So you can see all the rounds that are hitting the invisible wall right here. You can actually use these to take cover and start bait shots. It's also very good for twisting into, so if you duck low, especially if you've got a very steep hill, duck low, let the shots hit the wall, pop back up. If I had speed tweak on and acceleration, would be nice, but... So the name of the game...
I didn't understand that.
I'm talking to the recording. I'm trying to make this all nice and easy. Sorry.
Yeah, so I see you, but I can, and now I hit you.
Yeah, but you can't shoot over the wall that's like right in front of you. That's my point is all these maps have terrain features that are usually sometimes like a full foot above where they're supposed to be. And there's a couple rocks, especially on Tourmaline, that you can actually shoot through. So even though I can see him right here, I am totally safe. He cannot shoot me. Can you shoot me, Inko? Okay.
I think I do now. You need to go back. Still can shoot you.
Oh.
Still.
But you could start baiting these shots. You get him to burn half the lasers. Pop back up.
Yeah.
Alpha. And you can fully alpha in the Battle Master, which is really, really dumb. So you're trading 5 ERs for 4 if he's alphaing, or 2 if he's trying to trade. Alright, so we're going to do a traditional fight, Inko. And I'm just going to narrate to the camera. So, pop up, shoot me, pop back. All 9 yards. So some of the big things the IS have an advantage. They've got a bigger mech, so they've got more health to work through. They can alpha all these lasers. They've got the range quirks. Fraga's also got them, but you're allowed to abuse them more with the Battle Master for the simple fact of you've got the higher mounts and you've got the better armor, so pop out and kind of bully the lighter mech. Again, you can see him kind of using the invisible wall there, screen himself a little bit. The biggest thing you've got is you pick one side, you've got more lasers on, so I've got the full 3 here. And he just alphaed, but I can get another shot into him before he gets down. So that's, if you're going to do the alpha trades, you've really got to pop up, down, A couple of the Supernovas, a couple of the Mad Cats have a jump jet almost purely for that reason. For getting the assaults to be able to do that.
Heat level critical. Override shutdown.
But every time where you can just sit here, cool off, your whole team is fighting around you, so you're not too terribly worried. You can do this in clan mechs too. You can full alpha the Virago. But fully cool,
Heat level
pop
critical.
out, fire, fall back,
Shutdown.
totally cool. It's that easy, and they cannot punish you for this because the way the maps are built, especially Polar Highlands, Boreal Vault. And this is why it's so important to push these guys, because I can just sit here, and I will win this trade every single time I pop out. He's probably open chord right now.
Center torso critical damage. Heat level critical.
I've not been shooting terribly well. So it's a game. It's heat management and precision aiming. Now, Charles has that big long post on Journey to Better Aim. Oh, you can also trail smokes, especially if you've got damage components. So if you blow off something's arm, you can actually follow their smoke back to where they're hiding. It's very, very easy to do. Shows up really well in the white environments. Inco will do PPCs next, and that'll be all. Thank you. Do you want to practice anything, or do you just want me to narrate, do my own thing?
I'm not sure how to use the wall. Is there a sign that you know that the wall can help you?
What wall? The invisible walls?
The invisible wall, yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you with the PPCs. Get into a clan PPC, Mac.
Any specific?
Supernovas are nice. Warhawk if you've got it. But just clan PPCs. Summoner is really good for it. I think I'm going to use the Summoner just to make this a little easier.
Have all of them.
Okay.
Warhawk, Warhammer also, Bludgeon, which I use the most, and I use the most Beagle PPC.
Take the Warhammer Bludgeon. And I'll take the Summoner.
You want me to take the Summoner too?
No, I want you to take the Warhawk. I will be in the Summoner.
Warhawk or Warhammer? Because you said Warhammer.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be confusing. Please take the Warhammer, please.
Exactly. Okay. Warhammer.
And we'll do the same thing. Hold when you get to position, and I'll try and teach you how to use the invisible walls to your advantage. So the Summoner is really, really good at these sorts of fights. That's why we've taken them for the PPC Overwatch role. But with jump jets, if you jump jet and you've got a vertical velocity and a horizontal velocity, so you're jumping diagonally and you're falling back into cover, you are almost impossible to hit. You're not going to do a whole lot of damage. You're already heat capping yourself with the jump jets, but you are incredibly safe, especially if they don't have any way to push you. So we'll get a couple examples of that as we go on. I've got the 3 PPCs on this mech. You can do 2 with the targeting computer for the extra velocity and heat sinks, but firepower, always more firepower. So Inco, I want you to blow off my left. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Once again, I didn't get what you said.
Yeah. I need you to blow off my left arm.
Okay.
When I'll just stand on a ridge.
Airstrike online.
And I'm going to blow off one of your arms as well.
Same position again.
Yes, please.
I'm there, don't see you yet.
Hey, friend. Come up a little bit so I can hit you. See what I mean about the invisible walls? They're really tall in some places. Stop moving.
Target acquired.
There you go. Alright.
Am I shooting or not yet?
Yeah, blow off my left arm.
Left arm critical.
But you're standing.
Left torso critical.
It's easy target, man.
Left
Yep.
torso destroyed.
Well,
Left
oh well.
arm destroyed.
it'll be fine.
PPC destroyed.
I need to get yours.
Heat level critical.
Okay. So go back to cover. One of the really nice ways you can use...
You need to get it more. You got only one PPC out, so I have 3 now.
I know. It'll be fine. I can... The point was to show you what the smoking components will do. So right now I'm just below a ridge where I can just about see where you're at. And then if you get to where you're looking at the horizon and you see my ridge. So you'll see the smoke before you see me. Correct?
Yeah. Now I see it.
So that's one of the really nice things. A lot of Viragos, if you're fighting clan, and a lot of battle masters, they'll put a targeting computer in one arm and leave the other one almost completely unguarded. So if you've got a smoking component or a blown component, you're leaving this trail of black smoke that you see above me, and everybody immediately knows where you're at, especially if you're in a one-on-one trade like we're doing here. So, I want you to stand on top of the ridge and don't shoot, please. And I'm going to show off a couple of different things. One is how good the summoner in particular is at PPC pop darting. So, as I said, with the horizontal and vertical, it's not very damage efficient, but it is very, very safe. Just fire on your way down, apex of your job. So, alright, Inko, you can try and shoot me now. The key point is you gotta land in cover, which I didn't do there. So, get behind the hill. Very, very safe. Okay, so you were asking how to use the invisible walls, and this is one way you can do it, is with PPC pop darting. There is a trick. I need you to come out of cover. Hold fire. So, get a lock on my mech. I'm going straight up and down this ridge right here. You can actually see the meters change before you'll see the mech. Can you see it, Inko?
I cannot see that yet.
Alright, so you've got your cursor over my mech. You've got the little meters symbol to your right, right?
Yes.
Whenever you see the meters change,
I understand. Okay.
that's when you're over the invisible wall, because it'll actually track it very, very accurately. So I can still shoot you. Well, my gun's not high enough, but I can. If you have overhead, over cockpit mounts, you can shoot as soon as you see the meters change. So things like a blackjack, supernova is not quite there, but if you have very, very high PPC mounts, that's what you're looking for. And you've just got to adjust that based on whatever mech you're driving. So you've got 2 R-mounted PPCs. You need to plan for like an extra 2-3 degrees of angle. So, all right. One last thing with PPC trading, and we'll get started fighting. The biggest thing you're trying to do is, especially if you're fighting against somebody with ERLLs, is you're trying to take advantage of your minimal exposure time. So as you fire, as I overheat myself and die, losing that side torso hurt me more than I thought it would. So used to the timings, I'm trying to worry about OBS and the recording. I'll do it with a blackjack, and we'll have to get a little bit closer and go. Bring something reasonably fast, 100 kph or so, and as big as you can.
With pips.
If you've got them. If you don't, just big and fast.
Yeah, I mean, wiggle with ERPPC. Is that okay?
That's okay. So trading peeps to ERLLs is all about exposure time. You need to be able to get your shot off and get back to cover as fast as humanly possible. Because the longer you can waste that burn into the mountainside or whatever you're using for cover, the more you're winning the trades. Simple enough, but getting the practice movement and not actually watching where your shot goes is the biggest thing. So you'll see me do it here with Enko. I was worried about other things while I was in the summoner, but as soon as I shoot, I'm going to be twisting away and starting to dodge. Like before the shot hits, before I even feel like it leaves the barrel.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.
Thank you again for doing this with me, Enko.
All systems nominal.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So did you hear what
I use a lot wiggle with 2 ERPPC.
So
and
did you hear?
I use the thing that you say, you know, pop tarding, jumping not straight but on the side. When you jump, go back, take cover. But yeah, it's okay. It's still fun.
Well, the difference between jumping straight up and down and jumping like horizontally is you're never in place for any one specific moment. You don't have zero velocity ever.
That's why I jump on the side. And it's also important when you have your target, you just stop jumping.
So Hotel 8, India 9. We're gonna have to be a little bit closer because I've got heavy PPCs instead of ERs. Also, I think you're faster than me, but... should really take some time and like trim out all the walking time that I've got in these matches. Curse you, Polar Highlands.
Okay, I'm India 9.
Alright. I still don't see you. There you are.
Fuel at 0%.
Alright, so this is going to be a fairly standard fight, but this time I'm going to be using the meters to target trick. So we'll both be pop-tarting side by side.
Alright, on your mark.
Go! So, as I said, preemptively twist. Don't wait for the shots to connect, because you've really got to be on the defensive fighting with PPCs. Almost got him. The other thing with PPCs, with the slow velocity, if you have jump jets, you can actually spread the damage to your legs fairly easily. Wish I had the heat to fire. Nope. So, consistently being baited into other shots. That's kind of your goal in PPC duels. So, notice how we use the invisible wall on the left. As soon as that light fires, or I perceive he's about to fire, I'm pulling my jump jet so I fall out of his shots. Or you can go over the shots, because I just said it. Ah, that was a really bad one.
Also critical damage. Override shutdown.
Curse you, overheat.
Override shutdown.
So, alright, hold for a second, Inko. I'm gonna do one more video showing of... Perfect. Just fall back down the hill a little bit.
Target acquired.
Stop. Alright. So, 78 meters, pop up. As soon as that hits 400, because the high mounts, I can shoot him. That's how you clear your invisible walls, because it won't update. See, it's still in infinity. It won't update until you're clear of the invisible wall. And so you move, move, move. Keep holding your same position and go. I'll miss this time so we can keep fighting. So you've got him zeroed. Trace, trace, trace. Pop up, shoot. I tried to miss. Alright, give me one freebie and we'll go back to fighting.
You're excellent.
Yeah. This is the no-chill bush. It was too hot otherwise. I had to take the XL. Anyway, thank you for the help, Inko.
Yeah, thank you.